Get there. Scan it. Down. Group. Jada's pencil's in the group. Hassan's pencil is in the group. Jade and Pam's pencil's in the group. Two things before we get going. Camille, you have one arm, these are flat different. A lot of people did something really great on the entrance bit. Was a little bit different today. Jael, Layla, two other people. Yes, excellent. Soraya, thank you for standing in the back when you didn't see your name tag right away. That helped our whole team get right down to work. Second, we can do a little bit better at one thing on entrances where we might be a little confused. Can I ask you just for a second? If we need to get around someone, we can wait, or we can just step to the side to let someone pass. Some of the small noises that happened on our entrance were because I think we were trying to help, but we can do that helping silently by stepping back. We have so much to talk about. I'm like, been waiting for Howard this whole day for this class. Before we go, let's talk about discussions you've had in the past. How has it gone? As a team, how have you done with discussions in the past? Keon, vertical hand. Camille. Track Camille in the back. Alex tracking. Keon's tracking. Dejan's tracking.
I think that every time in this school that we've had a discussion, we never had a hard time doing the discussion. We always did what we were supposed to do.
Add on. Roll Camille to another scholar. 2, 1, 0. Good choice. He had a vertical hand. Camille's tracking. Jada's tracking.
We did good when we had discussions because if someone just disagreed with us, like we said something wrong, they would raise their hand and say respectfully, not disrespectfully, respectfully disagree with us and explain why.
Layla's silent and co-signing to agree. Devin, roll to another scholar.
It needs to shine others.
Voice, please.
It needs to shine others when they have trouble with something because it shows support and it makes them feel better.
Great. Brandon, Jael, Tristan tracked without even calling on it. That was quick. Elijah, roll it to another scholar. 2, 1, 0. Tracking Jade and Pam. Janila's tracking. Dejan's tracking. Go ahead.
When we have discussions in the class, they go smoothly, and like some people we get excited about we getting the outsiders and we read apart. Like when Johnny died or when Doug died, we had a conversation and we think it's fun and we should do it more often.
I agree. What do we need to work on as a team during these discussions that we've been having or we may have had last year? Hassan, courage. It takes a courageous kind of hand to say what we need to work on. Track Hassan, please. Excellent tracking with this side immediately. Voice Hassan all the way up. Voice.
What I need
Better.
to work with myself control.
Say more.
When somebody done talking and we use about ready to call somebody else,
Yeah, sometimes people are like, ooh, you need to work on that self-control. Sandra, what's another thing you need to work on as a team? 2, 1, 0. Good, quick hand. Good choice.
another thing we need to work on
Initiative for the stand with voice counts it so everyone can hear.
Another thing we need to work on is like raising your hand and wait until the person's finished.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that in a second. Guys, I love the way this room is set up. But, I mean, I would love to have it like this every day. But what are some challenges to having a room that's set up like this? Silent vertical hand from Soraya Jackson, from Vernon, from Devin. Track Layla all the way in the back. We just need to track with our head. What's another challenge that we might have based on the way the room is set up? Malik, track him please. Shania's tracking, Maxine's tracking, Vernon's tracking. Voice.
Another challenge is that, like, when you're sitting next to your best friend, then you might get attention to slow.
Agreed. Strong professional voice. Roll it to someone who could elaborate on that idea. It may not be someone that's just roll. Malik, 2, 1, 2.
I want to add on to what Malik said, and also like the way that you're sitting, like say Northfield was my BFF in the whole entire world. She's sitting right there. I can make eye contact with her and like I speak with her mouth words across the room.
Great. Track here, please. Dejan's tracking. Charson's tracking. This center tracks so well because they track with their head and not their whole body. That's great. You're showing me we can maybe use this every day. What? I agree with Soraya so much. What we're going to be looking for today is people that are focused on the speaker and not the person that's across the room. It is so tough. Our 6th graders last year got so good at this. But it took a little bit of time, and we learned from our mistakes. Right now, we're going to dive into what our discussion is going to look like. Silently flip your page over. Naisha's tracking down, she's flipping her page. Devin's flipping his page over silently. Danielle's silently flipping their page. Grab your pen. Anaya has her pen. Layla has her pen. Look down with your pen in your hand. These are our rules for our Socratic seminar. I'm going to cold call you to read with voice. To read with voice. That's it. Camille, 1.
Speak so that all can hear you.
Let's try that again. We're trying to keep our eyes on the page. The challenge continues, team. Try it again.
Speak so that all can hear you.
2, read it, Vernon.
Listen closely.
Number 3, read it, Asan. Voice.
Speak without raising your hand.
Professional voice, that's so much better. 4, Sharston.
Refer to the text.
5, Devin.
Talk to each other, not just to the leader.
6. Janila, voice.
Ask for clarification.
Dejan, 7.
Invite and allow others to speak.
8. Tyler, voice.
Consider all viewpoints and ideas.
Great. And 9. Shemaya.
Know that you are responsible for the quality of the signal.
Grab your pen. Cross out number 3. Maxine's crossing out 3. Janila's crossing out 3. Layla's crossing out 3. With me, board equals paper, right? Hands down. Jada's looking up. Hands down until speaker is done. Period. Why would we keep our hands down until the speaker is done, Dejan?
We'll keep our hands down until the speaker is done because that means we're more focused on what we have to say instead of what others have.
Great. Look down where it says question ideas. Brandon's looking down. Brandon's looking down. Let's read aloud some questions that you might ask today. Melanie, first one, voice.
What do you mean by?
Second, Borns.
What is your main point?
3, Layla.
How does blank relate to blank?
Strong voice. Malik, next.
Could you put that another way?
Aha. Tyler, next.
What do you think is the main issue here?
Finish the list on your own. Silently flip your page. Kian's flipping. Janila's flipping. Vernon's flipping. Brandon's there. We're getting there. Great. Pencil down. Anaya's pencil's down. Jaden's pencil's down. Kian's pencil's down. I'm getting sight. Hands flat so I can see. Shemaya's hands flat. Knee 2. The cool thing about a Socratic is it's kind of like a basketball game. Here's why. Everyone's a player, everyone's a coach. Everyone's a player, everyone's a
Coach.
Outer circle, you are the first coaches. Outer circle, you are the first
Coaches.
Stay tracking here. So far so good. I'm going to cross the rows. Inner circle, you're the first players. Outer circle, you are going to coach your inner circle using a stat sheet, just like a coach of a basketball game. You will give your inner circle, you will give someone on the inner circle feedback at halftime, just like a basketball game. When I say go, silently grab that name tag. Elijah, you have one. I did not say go. Flip it. Look who your partner is and point to that person silently. Go. Brandon's looking. Melanie's looking. Nautica's looking. Anaya's pointing silently to her partner. Elijah's pointing. If you don't have a Camille, you are going to be partners with Anaya B. Great. Pause. Put your name tag back down. If you don't have a partner, I saw you, and I'll come and help you in a second. Now, grab your pen. Look down at the score sheet. This was how every Socratic will work. Melanie has her pen. Sharston has his pen. Elijah, great, my friend. Write your name on your score sheet, just like me. Alex writing his name. Naisha's writing her name. Write your partner's name next to it. Look down at the score sheet. I'm going to show you how to do this. First, if you are on the outer, you are going to listen to how many times your partner speaks. How many times your partner speaks. Try that again. How many times your partner speaks. Better. Circle the word speaks. Camille circling, Devin circling, Brandon circling. For example, if your partner speaks, you are going to give them credit as the coach by filling in one box. Fill in one box for your partner because everyone will participate in this discussion. Next, you will score your partner on how they look at the person who is speaking. You will also score on whether or not someone refers to the text. What's the next category you will score someone on? Trista?
Ask a question.
The next. Shania?
Response to another speaker.
Right here, I want you to write the word name. Brandon's writing name. Tyler's writing name. Brandon's writing name. When we say response to another speaker, we mean that that person says that another person's name. Says another person's name. They don't say, I disagree. They say, I disagree with Keon. You give a person credit if they say another speaker's name. Look down at the next category. Jada Gill's looking down. You're doing a good job as a team, looking down and not across. The next, put a star next to it. This is our focus today. Dejan starring it, Devin starring it, Jada starring it. Raising their hand or disagreeing with someone while they're speaking. We wait until the speaker is done. Until the speaker is done. And finally, engages in a side conversation. That means if someone else is speaking, you see your teammate turn and talk to someone else. That's not someone or something that we want, but you would fill it in if it happened. Questions about this? Alec, question, voice.
So like the second to last one where it says disagrees while someone is speaking, can you go like this or just stay neutral?
Excellent question. What do we think? Brandon, what should we do? What should we do? Shemaya?
I think you should stay neutral.
Yes, I agree. We're going to stay neutral. So watch me. Camille's eyes are here. Elijah's eyes are here. Maxine, tell me what you had for breakfast.
I had some
Eyes. Would I have gotten a check in that box, Vernon?
Nope.
Why not?
That's like disrespectful.
But what did I do that caused me to not get the check in the box?
You keep slamming your hand on your head.
Good. Try again. This time, Maxime's going to quickly tell me what he had for breakfast. Watch me. See how I wait until he's done. Keon's tracking me. Devin's tracking me. Go ahead.
Before I came to school, I had some cinnamon toast crunch, and I came to school and had raisin bread.
What did I do that was different, that allowed our conversation to be more kind, more relaxed, and more focused? Track Jael behind Brandon. Brandon's tracking with his head. Keon's tracking with his head. Great.
You waited till he was done?
Perfect. Right now, I want you to silently, we have more questions it seems. I want to make sure we get our questions answered. Track Elijah, please. This question might be yours. With voice, sit all the way up.
Like what if somebody say something funny? Like, they say a joke, what are we supposed to do?
Great question. Good question. Eyes here. I love when we can have a good time, but I also know that the main purpose of a seminar is to help each other to understand. Tomorrow, you're going to need to respond to a question that's very similar to this. So we can have a good time, and we can laugh, but we know that the number one goal is to understand and to help each other some to get where we need to go, which is understand it. That should answer your question. Last question, track Soraya Jackson.
I mean, when the people was answering the questions, was asking questions, do we have to do it now once it actually starts?
Oh good, once it actually starts. And let's get down to that. I want you right now to pull forward your homework from last night. Dejan's pulling forward his homework silently. Camille's pulling forward his homework. Right now, please take 1 minute to silently review what you wrote. 1 minute. Tyler's rereading his homework to prepare. Okay? Pages down, eyes up. Hands flat. We have 2 last things to do before we start. Brandon's eyes are here. Camille's eyes are here. Trista's eyes are here. Great tracking again right from here. We have 4 jobs to assign. The first is a question tracker. Our goal is to have questions asked appropriately all through. Wesleyan asked 7 questions. Cornell asked 5. I want to see how Howard does. I need a volunteer to be our question tracker for today. Vertical hand from Hassan, from Devin, from Camille. Jaden T, you'll be our question tracker for today. Silently look up. You're going to stay right there for now, my friend. Thank you for the zest. look right back up. Hold on. Next, I'm going to show you how this looks in the first round, and then I'll assign the summary point person after. A tracking tracker. This person's going to pay attention to how well we track and give us full class feedback at the end. This is going to be Malik. And then I need a hands up, hands down tracker that's paying attention to how well we're doing, waiting until someone's done speaking. That's going to be Anaya B today. Hands down. If you did not get a job, don't worry. Eyes here still. Brennan's eyes. Hands eyes. We'll do lots of seminars and we'll mix up jobs. Second, all of you have a job as a coach. When I say go, if you are on the outer circle, flip to your score sheet. Go. If you are on the inner circle, start thinking what you will say first. Everyone right now, pull your belly all the way in. Make sure your feet are flat. We know the question we prepared for it last night. The question is this. How do S.E. Hinton and Robert F. Kennedy develop the same theme about violence? I'll repeat one more time. How do S.E. Hinton and Robert F. Kennedy develop the same theme about violence? You must compare and talk about the moves of each writer. I will call on the first speaker in the center. Only center speaking. Coaches, you'll coach. We'll split. We will split and switch in about 10 minutes. After the first speaker, you will call. Track Camille. He's starting.
I think that S.E. Hinton and Robert Kennedy make the same theme about violence by using the writer's tools such as illusion, repetition, and contrast.
I agree with Camille. She, like, in the book she uses contrast, like, it says, and now he was juvenile worker and there wouldn't be any other choice in his favor. And she was talking about how Gary was, she was contrasting, she was comparing him with these different things. So,
agree with Robert F. Kennedy on the past. Violence is really curious as if you keep on killing people, is it going to make you worse?
I agree with a song that he wrote, but doing violence, it motivates other people to do it.
Voice.
I have a question for you, Khalil. Do you have any text or evidence that supports your claim?
Yeah, from Illusion, it's because the poem on page 77 of The Outsiders, it says, nature's first green is gold, her heart is pure to hold, her early leaves a flower, but only so an hour.
I'm going to ask you to pause. Make sure you get everyone there, okay? You said what page?
Page 77.
Great. Go ahead. Kiana, introduce the first person there. Can you all go ahead?
Then leaves of class so even sake to breathe. So dawn goes down today, nothing goes past.
Voice.
Why do you think that that poem is trying to come up with violence and violence? Why do you think the poem is trying to tell you not to do violence?
I think that the poem is telling you not to do violence because
Voice.
it's showing, just like in the end of The Outsiders, it shows you how Johnny tells Homie Boy to stay gold because you're gold when you're a kid. So I think that this poem is showing about don't do violence because it's showing that if you stay gold then you won't have as many problems.
Alex, I got a question for you. So, do you have an example of how S.E. Hinton is contrasting things?
Yeah, so page 153.
Jay's flipping? Mary's just flipping? 153.
No, 154.
154.
She's and the second paragraph on 154 is like, God wants their way to be dead, and you always got what you want. And she contrasted that to the third paragraph in the middle, where it says, and now he is dead, juvenile, dead, and no one made any choice in his favor, so she's contrasting.
What is she contrasting?
She's contrasting that he always got what he wanted, and well, it's a contrast though, because she changes the sentence to say now he always got what he wanted and now he wouldn't get any editorials at all.
Is it really a contrast?
Yes.
So where's the evidence? You don't have any evidence. It's not a contrast.
I see a contrast also on page 154. It says, two friends of mine had died that night. One a hero, the other a hoodlum. This shows contrast because it's contrasting the way that Johnny and Dally died. Because Johnny died a hero because he saved those kids, and Dally died a hoodlum because he fake robbed a bank. A grocery store, and then the police shot him. Not a call.
I have a contrast with Robert F. Kennedy and S.E. Hinton message, because he was trying to make a message about non-violence, violence, and she is both Rumble, and they were in the book they were fighting the soldiers, which is kind of like violence, and Robert F. Kennedy message is not to have violence, and it seems like S.E. Hinton is backing up the violence towards the soldiers.
I agree with everybody that has spoken so far. And on page 148, Johnny says, he says useless fighting over. And I think what Johnny was saying is that even though they won the Rumble and they beat the Soldiers, it's still not worth it because the fighting didn't do anything.
Based on what Nordica said, I disagree with Nordica because I disagree with Nordica because you said
I said S.E. Hinton is backing up violence because of the Rumble. Yeah. And
that means she wants violence. You said she's backing up violence.
what she has written, it seems like she is because the fight against the socialists and the greasers, that's violence. If you, yeah.
Like, she wrote that Tony Boy thought that there's no place fighting because it's not going to satisfy you.
But they did fight, so it seemed in the beginning, and you'll see that they were getting ready for the fight, so it wasn't like they were trying to back out of it because they was getting ready for it. So yeah.
I have a question for you, Asana. When you were speaking just now, you said that Tony Boy said it. May you please clarify? I don't think Tony Boy said it.
I'm on the page where when Jally was going to fight Paul, Tony Boy had a thought and he said like, this was stupid because like, or because they're different, they're fighting.
Help each other find the evidence. Hassan's getting us somewhere. Great, Tejan, good question.
In the Robert F. Kennedy story, he mentioned that a white man killed his brother, and both authors are trying to say that violence is never the answer because the more you kill, it says right here, what we need in the United States is not hatred, and the more you kill, we're just adding more problems to the United States.
I have evidence for what Hassan said. It's on page 142, the second to last paragraph. It says, "That's stupid," I thought swiftly. They both come here.
What page?
142, the
Nice
second.
and loud. 142.
The second to last paragraph, it says, "That's stupid," I thought swiftly. They've both come here to fight and they're both supposed to be smarter than that. What difference does the side make?
I see people putting a flip on that tree so they know to come back. Jado Glow.
Yeah.
I disagree with Monica and because she said that S.E. Hinton is backing up violence just because of one situation, which is about the Rumble, and like she wrote the book to show that violence is it's not worth it because in many different sections of the book, like when Johnny says it's useless about said it's stupid, and it was swiftly. It was in his head, and other sections in the book.
Time. Track here. Devin's tracking. Shemaiah's tracking. Go ahead and put your pencil down, your book down, and your hands flat. Get there. Some shout-outs first. Keneal was really brave to start us off. I'm going to summarize as we go. Keneal started us by talking about how both texts seem to use allusion. He talked about how the Stay Gold poem was an allusion to Robert Frost. I heard him quickly talk about how Robert Kennedy had an allusion too, but he moved on. I heard a lot of great questions pushing back at Keneal. Then I heard us go on to this idea of what different things are being contrasted. Dally, Johnny, all of that. I also heard a lot of great questions directed at Nautica's point. How many questions have been asked at this point? Question tracker, Jaden.
There were only 4 questions.
Voice?
There were only 4 questions.
I believe that there were 4 solid questions. I caught 4 too, but I heard even more people asking for evidence, which I think is a really good start for us as a team. How are we doing on tracking? Track Malik, please. Keon's tracking. Janelle's tracking. Jaden M's tracking. Go ahead.
Yeah, 13 people not tracked.
Good. Here's what I think track here. I said good. I don't think that's great, but here's what I do think we're doing a really great job with on tracking. Dejan, Brandon, Nyasia, Tyler, they're holding the track all the way through the comment. If you watch, they're just tracking the speaker. They aren't like looking down and around, they're just watching and listening. I also think we're doing a great job co-signing while people are speaking and shining. Right now is halftime. Coaches, in a moment, when I say go, you are going to get to give your halftime feedback to your teammate. It should sound something like this. You will start with a glow. You will start with a glow. So you might say something like, you did a really great job making a point about the writer's tool of illusion. You spoke 4 times. One thing that you can work on is making sure that you're speaking with voice. Or one thing you can work on is making sure you give evidence. Or make sure you're answering the question about writer's tools. How is the idea about violence being developed? When I say go, silently turn to your partner. Do not begin speaking until I snap. Go. Keon's tracking. Shemaiah's. Pause. Pause. Almost solid. Some people started talking right away, I think because they were excited to give the feedback. Turn. Coaches, soft voice, give that feedback. Go.
Yo, get that over.
Let's go, let's go. Come on.
Eyes back. Brandon's back. Devin's back. Silence. Ladies here. Go ahead and left turn all the way to your belly. Burning assistance. Hands. Get there. Sound over here should stop. And abs. I heard great feedback being given about making sure they were referencing the writer's tool. Cosign if your partner said participate more. Cosign if your partner said ask a question. Good. This team, you have 2 more minutes before we switch. I'm going to start by calling on someone that hasn't spoken yet. My feedback to this group is we need to talk about Robert Kennedy more. We need to talk about evidence more. I also think it's not enough just to say violence is not the answer. I don't get it. Like, what kind of violence are we talking about as okay or not okay? That's my push. Anaya, at least start us off. Outer circle, your pencils are up, getting ready to score again. Go ahead. Sandra, right in on tracking. Great.
For the Robert Kennedy's message about violence, I said that his message about violence is that instead of using violence, which he feels is not the answer, if you're sad or you're hurt, wisdom will come from it. And my evidence for that is in paragraph 6. Yeah, in paragraph 6 it says, in our own despair against our will comes wisdom.
I would like to say that there is some type of violence that's okay. Like, murdering is not okay, but however, like, if you're using self-defense, that's okay because, you know, the Trayvon Martin case, that's the white man, he killed Trayvon Martin, and he said that it was in self-defense. That's why they say he wasn't found guilty. So I think that type of violence is okay. Not what the white man did.
In the Robert Kennedy speech, he used a lot of repetition, and throughout outsiders, they use S.E. Hinton used repetition. In Kennedy's speech, it says multiple times throughout the story. It says what we need in the United States is not division. What we need in the United States is not hatred. This is basically showing how Robert F. Kennedy thinks that violence is not acceptable unless it's defending yourself or you defend your country. So I
agree with Dejan, and I wanted to add on that in paragraph 3 of the Robert F. Kennedy speech, it says that Martin Luther King, he tried to show compassion and love to the United States, and Robert F. Kennedy wanted other people in the country to be doing that.
Beautiful. Is there a connection to outsiders here about compassion and love? Soraya will.
It is a connection because it is a connection because remember when Johnny and Tony Boy was fighting in the Rumble, and then Dallas was actually really compassionate about Johnny because he wanted to go see him and go tell him that he was okay because he was worried. And Ponyboy was also compassionate when he went to go see Johnny because he was also worried about him. And that's it.
Let's stick with this idea. Devin roll.
I also think that that at another point in the story when Ponyboy was at the hospital, he showed compassion and love to Soda Pop and Dari because he hadn't seen them in a while because he went to Windricksville because he didn't want to get arrested for being a part in murder. So he was very compassionate to Dari and Soda Pop, and he didn't want to leave them anymore. GMT.
Time. Camille's tracking. Jay is tracking. Lee's tracking. Track up. Wow. We got somewhere big on this second round. That's because of the feedback of the coaches. Good job, coaches. Your feedback got us somewhere. Here, Dejan mentioned repetition in both The Outsiders and in Robert Kennedy's speech. He gave a full explanation about how it affected. I agree. That's an achievement credit. Now, then Soraya Santiago brought up this huge point about how violence should be met with compassion and love. Send her some shine. Robert Kennedy believed that. And then we went to this conversation about how maybe Hinton was saying that violence should be met with compassion as well. That's an interesting place to leave off. Oh, I forgot one thing. We also talked about how violence might lead to wisdom. Maybe there's a connection between violence leading to wisdom and this compassion and love thing. I'm not exactly sure. Whoa. Okay. This is what's going to happen right now. Yeah, you ready? Okay. Put your hands flat. Team. We get enough. I know. In a second. We get another chance at moving around the room right now, which I'm excited about. What we're working on the movement is stepping back to let people pass. This time, instead of me too. Instead of going silently, we're going to talk in a soft voice like this. I think it's only fair to allow some talking while you move. I think about moving around this classroom kind of like moving around a subway station or a crowded subway car. I hate riding on a crowded subway car. Cosign if you think that's... Okay, great. Me too. So what I don't do on a crowded subway car is this. Push people out of the way. I don't do that because other people would get upset and it doesn't get me anywhere. It doesn't get you anywhere. So, on this transition, you're going to silently stand up. And once you're standing, if you need to, you can say, go ahead. Or, after you. Or, oh, excuse me. But we probably don't even really need to talk about anything because we're going to move quickly to our other seat because these outer circle coaches need to speak on this idea of wisdom and compassion now. When I say go, silently gather everything, including your bag. Go. Pause. Check volume. Go. Up. Stop switching front. You're switching with your partner.
I'm sitting here. Yes, I am. You're sitting. Excuse me. You're going to sit at the back, okay? Levy, you have a transition direction. You can do better than that. You're moving quickly and quietly. Right here. In your seat in 10. 9. 8.
7, 6, 5, 4, 3, get there, 2, 1, and 0. Show hands. Need to. Hands flat. Trap. Exterior's eyes. Wait. I have Jada's eyes. Keon's eyes. Feet flat. Team, on that transition, our voice volume was good. What we can do is make sure we move to that seat just a tiny bit quicker. Same question. Coaches, you should be on your score sheet like J&T, Hassan, Dejan. Get to that score sheet for your partner. Inner circle. Get ready to make points. Inner circle. Vertical hand to start. Same question. How do Essie Hinton and Kennedy develop the same exact theme? Start us off. Track Trista. Pencils out to score.
Like the theme for the outsiders, Essie Hinton's message about violence is just like self-defense, nothing else for good. And on page 57, it says, I had to. They were drowning me, Pony. They might have killed me. Johnny used self-defense for Pony instead of like killing somebody for no reason. So
I disagree with you, Trista, because not only violence is used for self-defense. A lot of people, not most, but people in the world actually like use violence for no reason.
I just wanted to say that that doesn't relate to what we were speaking about. It both types violence, which like in Essie Hinton's outsiders, violence was used as self-defense. Bob was trying to protect Pony Boy. Johnny was trying to protect Pony Boy from drowning in the in the water.
I say that Essie Hinton thinks that it's okay to use it for self-defense because in page 148 it says that when Daddy told Johnny that they won the Rumble, Johnny said that fighting is no good. So I say that because the socialists and the basically just doing it because they don't like each other, not for like self-defense or anything.
I agree with Melanie because in the letter from Robert F. Kennedy, violence was not used for self-defense. It was used as hatred. And in the outsiders, it was used as self-defense because Johnny was trying to protect Pony Boy from getting killed.
I would like to elaborate on that because both Pony Boy and Mr. Kennedy, they both knew how it felt